What is up, YouTube? This is DBZ49 coming at you with my updated Magical Musketeer deck profile for the April 2020 ban list. I'm very excited to showcase you what new stuff I have to bring. I made a lot of changes, as you know, with the ban list. You know, they hit cards like Instant Fusion and Mind Control. So I made proper adjustments to the deck. And without any further ado, let's get on with the main deck. Starting off, obviously we play your best card, Triple Caspar. Obviously, every Musketeer card, anytime a spell or trap card is activated as column during either player's turn, you can search any Musketeer card, including a monster. So keep in mind that if you have like Crooked Crown or Crooked Deal, you can special summon a monster from your hand and like further extend your plays. Also, like he's your best one, obviously, searching any spell or trap. And yeah, there's nothing much more to say about Caspar. Next, I guess our go-to card you could say in the deck now is Starfire, because the main goal of the deck is to summon Utopia double and OTK, and you'll see other tech choices that I play that help get there. But Starfire allows you to special summon a Musketeer monster from your deck in defense position. So we're trying to get out the Calamity, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Next, we play Triple Kidbrave. It's pretty good, especially if you clog yourself with a bunch of monsters in your hand. He's a good discard outlet. Discard a Musket card from your hand to draw 2 cards. So he's pretty nice, and he's your biggest beater, 1600. Next, we play a Double Doc. Doc is alright. During mid to late game, he's pretty good because he's you can recruit resources from your graveyard, and especially if you banish a lot from Desires, like the only way to get your resources is through this guy. But as a starting card, he's not that good because you don't have that much stuff to recur from the graveyard. And last of the Musketeer monsters, we play the one Calamity, primarily just for the Starfire to bring out for the Utopia combo. But also her effect comes up to where you can special summon a monster from your graveyard. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Musket monsters. Now for the hand traps, we still play Triple Phantazmay. In my honest opinion, I still think it's going to be a combo-heavy format where everyone is still playing Links. And so Fantastic is still going to be a fantastic card. Being able to shuffle back your bricks, especially double or nothing, is really good. And especially if you open a bunch of monsters. You want to be able to search all the spell trap cards you need to help break your opponent's boards. Next, finally for our monsters, you just play the Double Ash. Obviously, probably one of the best hand traps right now. Moving forward to our spell cards, we play a Triple Cross-Dom. Very good. In my opinion, probably the best one. Target a monster on the field and negates effect. It makes his attack defense 0. So combos well with Starfire because this is Starfire's OTK. You target any monster, Starfire summons Calamity, and then Utopia double swings, and that's 10k right there. So that's really good. Next, we main deck Triple Mystic Mine. Mystic Mine is so powerful. I don't know why Konami didn't hit this card, but we're going to utilize it. And you just sit on Mystic Mine until you get Utopia combo. And yeah, pretty good card. Next, we play a Triple Super Poly. I think if you look into the meta right now, you see all the decks being played. Super Poly, I would say 90% of the time would work. And I actually decided to main this over Nibiru because Nibiru doesn't resolve all the time. And like, if you top deck this card, like you can still use it, whereas like if you top deck Nibiru, like you can't. So I shifted Nibiru to the side, but moving forward, we play double Desires, not triple. I think triple's incorrect because you only want to resolve this card once, and even if you resolve it, you don't want to see drawing into another copy of Desires. But nevertheless, Desires is really good. Draw 2 cards is always nice. We play double Lightning Storm for the heavy back row decks mainly. But also the Regeki effect comes up sometimes. And it's really easy to use because you don't have any like spell trap cards face up, and you're probably just gonna have like a Musket monster. And if it ever leaves the field, like you have an empty field, so this card's kind of easy to resolve. And last with the spells, we play the one Upstart Goblin because it's free, and then obviously the one double or nothing. So yeah, moving on to the traps, we play Triple Last Stand. Last Stand's really good because, especially if you play against control decks, Last Stand helps you enable to resolve max. And if you ever banish copies with Desires, like you'll always have, like everyone plays spells, or maybe some people play traps, but this card's always good. And then play triple Desperado. Target a face-up card and pop it. It also goes well with Mystic Mine because under Mystic Mine, you're still allowed to activate your spell trap cards from your hand. So if you ever need to pop it, you can do it with this. And then last two Musket trap cards we play is Dancing Needle. It's pretty much DD Crow on crack and Crooked Crown. During either player's turn, during the main phase, you can special summon a Musketeer monster from your hand. So that's a great extender. And that's pretty much it for the main deck. It's 40 cards, and now moving on to the side deck. Start off with triple Nibiru. Nibiru is pretty good at certain matchups. I had it in the main for a while, but decided to shift it to the side. But nevertheless, Nibiru is a good card, especially against decks like Salvin Great and stuff. Next, we play triple Dark Rule No More. Dark Rule No More is really good against heavy combo decks, especially with the new deck that came out, Emancipators. Opponents who whip out like 7-8 negates or something, you just drop this card and just continue on breaking their boards. Next, we play Cosmic Cyclone, primarily for the back row decks, and it's really easy to trigger under muskets. Also, another cool thing that I did with my deck is that it can go first or second. So if your opponent makes you go first, like, you're still able to play. And cards like Cosmic Cyclone are a quick play spell, so even if they make you go first, you can just set it under a musket card and trigger it. So that's pretty good. Next, we play Summon Limit. I've been thinking long and hard for this last 3 final spots, and Summon Limit is the card I came up with because some decks want to make you go first, or decks that blind second. Summon Limit is just a generic good floodgate card to have, and yeah, because you usually you would summon Max as one summon, and then if you were to summon other monsters with Max, that counts as your second summon. So you can play around Summon Limit pretty fine. And last, we play triple Evenly Matched. One of the best blowout cards right now, Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, there's nothing much more to say about that. Moving on to our extra deck, we play triple Max. It's what makes the deck so good. Being able to potentially +5 on either Searching Spell Traps or monsters is insane. Also, it's an easy window out. Any Musketeers window out because you know when summon Musket, summon Max. Max searches like however many spells and trap cards. You search across Dom, and then you can target the window and then just run over it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Next, for our generic link monsters, we play one Borrelsword for the OTK, and then the one Unchained Abomination. Now that we don't have Instant Fusion and Mind Control, it's like harder to link up now, but that's okay because we play a multitude of Super Poly targets, so you can easily take this out for like another one, like Invoke cards or even like Shaddoll Fusion monsters are all viable targets. If you want to put that, you can take it out for that instead. The one Knightmare Phoenix to pop, it's really easy to co-link with the Max and just draw a card if you need to, and then we play the one Security Dragon. Some people argue to play Cerberus, but I prefer Security Dragon because some cards can't be destroyed by card effects, and sometimes you don't even want to discard the card because you want to save all the resources you can. And so yeah, next we play our Utopia package. This one was a spicy tech because if you ever side out the double or nothing, or if it gets banished, like you have a backup option if you need to swing over something that needs to be swung over with the big target. Next, we play the one Ignister for salads, AIs, or whatever. This card's really good, especially with the Rocket deck that's going around. Having like 3-4 dark monsters on the field, you suck it away. Make this guy. It's good against Orcus. It's good against even to some extent Shaddolls. So yeah, it's really good. Starving Venom. If 2 dark targets. The one Dragostapelia is actually really good now, especially against Invoke Shaddolls. And last, the Mudragon for your Super Poly targets. Yeah, YouTube, that is it for my updated deck profile. If you have any questions or suggestions, please post it down below in the video. I try my very best to respond to all your comments. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and have a nice day.